Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. Canada's new rules that can cancel visas, work, and study permits. Canada has introduced new immigration rules allowing officials to cancel temporary resident documents under specific circumstances. Announced by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada on February 12, 2025, these regulations aim to strengthen border security and regulate temporary immigration. Canada on Wednesday introduced new immigration rules that will allow officials to cancel temporary resident documents under certain circumstances. The changes, announced by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada on February 12, 2025, are part of ongoing efforts to regulate temporary immigration and maintain border security. The updated Immigration and Refugee Protection Regulations came into effect on January 31, 2025, and are published in the Canada Gazette 2. The new rules apply to electronic travel authorization, work permits, study permits, and temporary resident visas. Grounds for visa cancellation. Under the new regulations, immigration officials can cancel temporary residence documents if a person is found ineligible due to false information, criminal history, or inadmissibility. An officer is not satisfied that the individual will leave Canada at the end of their authorized stay. A document is lost, stolen, destroyed, or abandoned. A person transitions to permanent residency. An individual is deceased. A document was issued due to an administrative error. IRCC said, Canada welcomes individuals from countries all over the world seeking to visit, work and study. Foreign nationals who have been permitted entry to Canada temporarily as visitors, workers, or students are considered temporary residents. All temporary residents must comply with admissibility and eligibility requirements under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act and the regulations. Canada is aware of increased exploitation of temporary resident visas, including student permits. This has escalated due to organized smuggling networks and global migration crises, said René LeBlanc-Proctor, spokesperson for Mark Miller, Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship of Canada. Impact on Indians. In the third quarter of 2024, Canada hosted approximately 3 million non-permanent residents, including individuals on work permits, study permits, and asylum claimants. Of these, India has consistently been a leading source country for both international students and temporary foreign workers. In 2022, Indian citizens accounted for 45% of international students and 22% of temporary foreign workers admitted to Canada. Hence, the new regulations are likely to impact Indians majorly. Impact on international students. The changes are expected to affect international students, particularly those applying for study permits. The Canadian government has been working to tighten regulations following concerns over fraudulent acceptance letters and unauthorized stays. Canada is set to issue 437,000 study permits in 2025 as part of efforts to manage international student numbers. Reports indicate that around 50,000 international students applied for study permits but failed to enroll in their designated schools. Government data from early 2024 suggests the highest numbers of non-compliant students came from countries including Nigeria, Rwanda, Ghana, and Iran, with India and China topping the list. Students without proper residency documents or those staying illegally may also be affected by these new rules. In November 2023, Indian students, Canada's largest group of international learners, received emails requesting resubmission of study permits, visas, and educational records. The notifications, which reportedly include students with valid visas for up to 2 more years, caused concern among students. In response to a query from Business Standard, IRCC clarified that these requests are part of a standard procedure and not a new practice. Since 2015, the Canadian government has required most post-secondary designated learning institutions to report twice yearly on the enrollment status of their international students through the International Student Compliance Regime, said IRCC. It further explained that regular compliance activities involve only designated learning institutions, not students directly. However, in some cases, students may be asked to provide documentation to confirm their enrollment status, such as current or past transcripts. When asked about the focus on Indian students, IRCC said, since India is the top source of international students in Canada, it is reasonably likely that a higher number were sent to Indian nationals. Consequences of visa cancellation. According to the IRCC, foreign nationals affected by these changes may face removal from Canada if they are found ineligible, denial of boarding at airports, refusal of entry at Canadian ports of entry, financial losses if travel tickets are purchased but entry is denied, These regulations follow increased scrutiny of Canada's temporary residence program, particularly the study permit system, and are expected to strengthen the country's border security and immigration processes. Canada can cancel a valid visitor visa. Yes, Canada can cancel a valid visitor visa for various reasons, even after it has been stamped on a passport. This can happen before travel or at the port of entry if a Canada Border Services Agency officer determines there is a reason to deny entry, according to Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. The country no longer automatically grants 10-year multiple-entry visitor visas, as was announced by IRCC in November 2024. Instead, immigration officers assess applications individually to decide the length and type of visa issued. A visitor visa allows foreign nationals to visit for tourism, business, or family visits, usually for up to 6 months. Extensions may be possible but require an application with a valid reason. A valid visa does not guarantee entry. Upon arrival, border officials check identity, health, and eligibility. At major airports, fingerprint verification takes place at primary inspection kiosks, while land border checks may involve a secondary inspection. If approved, visitors generally receive a 6-month stay, but officers can shorten or extend it based on travel purposes. Always provide truthful and accurate information in your visa application, said Prashant Ajmera, an immigration lawyer at Ajmera Law Group. If unsure, seek advice from a regulated immigration consultant or lawyer. Reasons for visa cancellation. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada can cancel a visitor visa for several reasons. 1. Misrepresentation and fraud. Providing false information or hiding relevant facts during the visa application process can lead to cancellation. IRCC may impose a ban of up to 5 years if fraud is discovered. 2. Criminal record. A serious criminal offense or recent conviction can result in visa cancellation. Applicants should disclose any past offense and provide proof of rehabilitation where necessary. Applying for criminal rehabilitation may help address inadmissibility issues. 3. Previous immigration violations. Overstaying a previous visit or submitting false information in past applications can lead to cancellation. 4. Purpose of visit and return ticket. If the trip does not align with the stated purpose in the visa application, a visa may be revoked. Not having a return ticket consistent with the approved duration of stay can raise concerns. 5. Misleading assumptions. Some assume that if one person avoids scrutiny, others can too. IRCC assesses each case individually, and relying on anecdotal experiences can be risky. Official information from the IRCC website should always be the primary source. 6. Inadequate financial support. Visitors must show they have enough funds to support their stay. Borrowing money temporarily to meet financial requirements can lead to cancellation. Proof of sufficient funds should include bank statements and employment letters. 7. Failure to prove intent to leave. Visitors must convince CBSA officers they will leave Canada when their authorized stay ends. Officers may ask about employment, family ties, or property ownership. Supporting documents such as job letters or school enrollment records can help demonstrate ties to home. 8. Poor travel history. A history of overstaying visas or previous refusals in other countries can affect visa validity. Immigration authorities may review compliance with visa conditions worldwide. 9. Security concerns. Visitors linked to security threats, such as terrorist groups, may face visa cancellation. A clean police record and transparency with immigration authorities are crucial. 10. Changes in circumstances. Major life changes, such as job loss or family status changes, can impact visa eligibility. Visitors should inform IRCC of any significant updates and provide supporting documents. In the 7th half of 2024, Canada turned away foreigners faster than ever. On average, nearly 3,700 foreigners were turned away by CBSA. That's a 20% increase on a year-on-year basis. In July alone, 5,853 foreign travelers were refused entry, including students, workers and tourists, the most since January 2019, according to CBSA data. Even those with valid visas and official documents were turned away by the border force. CBSA is responsible for immigration, border enforcement, and customs. It is important to note that all individuals crossing the border/entering Canada will be subject to screening by an immigration officer. Entry into Canada depends upon how much an individual can convince an immigration officer of their intent to visit and assurance of return once the duration of permit to stay expires. The updated regulations give immigration officials more authority to revoke visas and temporary resident permits due to eligibility concerns, fraudulent documentation, or security risks. With increased scrutiny, visitors, students, and workers must ensure compliance with all immigration laws to avoid visa cancellations or denied entry. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.